Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite French desserts for this time of year, called a Galette des Rois. So a Galette des Rois, or Cake of the Kings as it's known, is served every year on January 6th to celebrate the Epiphany. So the Epiphany in the Christian religion is when the three kings arrive to present their gifts to baby Jesus. A galette des rois is made from buttery puff pastry and filled with the most delicious almond cream. The tradition also involves placing a little porcelain figurine of the baby Jesus, or feve as it's known, in the center of the pastry cream and baked into the cake. Over the years, it's become a little bit less religious and people have used all kinds of things as the feve. For me, these feves always make me nervous, just afraid that somebody might choke on it or lose a tooth. So instead, our tradition is to bake it with a little piece of chocolate. And then the tradition goes, whoever cuts into the cake and receives the feve or the piece of chocolate is king for a day. So now you know the history and all the customs associated with this dessert. Now let me show you how to make it. So you first want to begin by creating your almond cream, and it's really simple to do. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of almond paste. Now if you can't find almond paste in your supermarket, I'll put a link in the description for how you can make your own. 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. You want to beat that on high just until everything is incorporated, and you can scrape down the bowl as needed. At that point, we're going to add 2 eggs, beating in between each addition. 1 teaspoon of almond extract. I do like to add the extract just to kick it up a notch. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can beat that all together until nice and combined. And then the final step is just to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then you can beat that up. And that's all you have to do. Your pastry cream is ready to go. Then we're going to prepare the puff pastry. So on a floured surface, you're going to roll out the pastry, making sure that you get rid of any scoring that might be in the pastry, because we want to make sure that we have a very tight, flat rectangle so that our galette does not come apart in the oven. So just take those seams and kind of roll them this way and that way to make sure that they actually adhere together. And then you're going to take a large dinner plate, about a 10-inch, 11-inch plate, and just cut a circle out. And you can transfer that to a parchment-lined cookie sheet. And you're going to cut out 1 more circle. And then you can leave that one resting on the cutting board. Then you can take your almond cream and dollop it in the center of the circle. And then just spread it around, making sure you're leaving about a 1 to 2-inch border. Now at this point you can add your feve if you're using it, and then if you want to use the chocolate, you can just take a nice square of bittersweet chocolate and place it anywhere you like within the cream. At this point I do like to take a little egg wash and just brush it around the pastry cream to seal the 2 sheets together. And once you do that and it's all fitted, then we are going to create some decorative scalloping around the edge. And you want to do this just with a regular dinner knife or butter knife. You don't want to use anything too sharp because we actually don't want to cut through the pastry. We just want to indent it a bit. You're basically just going to push the pastry in between your 2 fingers all the way around until you create a really beautiful scalloped pattern. Then, at this point, I also like to take a little bit more of the egg wash and brush it on top of the galette, making sure that I'm not touching my scalloped edges. Because in the past, I've gone ahead and done that all over the scallops, and what ends up happening is the galette will rise up, but then the scallop edges won't. Not a good look. So it's better to just kind of keep it in the center there. And this will just provide a really nice, beautiful golden sheen to our galette. And then the final step is to create some decorative scoring on top of the galette. You're going to go ahead and score some diagonal lines about 1 inch apart all the way down your galette. And then you want to do the same thing going the other way with a slightly different angle. And then you'll have this nice crosshatch. Then at this point, just so that our puff pastry is able to rise as high as it can, I do like to take my tray and pop it in the freezer for just 10 minutes. That will allow that puff pastry to get really hard and cold, which is what you want when it hits the hot oven. Then you're going to bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes, just until that puff pastry has risen up and is golden brown. Go ahead and cut it into wedges, and you'll see wherever that chocolate appears, the recipient of that slice would be king for the day, and they get to wear the crown. I think you'll really enjoy that beautiful puff pastry mixed with that delicious almond cream. It's a great cake to serve warm or cold. It's also nice tucked into the lunchbox the next day. I hope you guys give this one a try and let me know what you think. And I will see you back here next week when I'm going to show you how to make a really easy no-knead bread from scratch. Until then, bye.